All right, so your underlying energy is the Page of Pentacles. Underneath that is the King of Cups. Underneath that is the Three of Cups. So I think you guys may have reunited with somebody that you may have loved, or you may have met up with someone that you are and you're attracted to. The King of Cups could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. It could be you, right? But the situation focus is the Page of Pentacles, really looking closely at the details. Okay, now the challenge is the Ten of Swords. Like, I think there's something that may have ended pretty darn badly. It really hurt, the situation. But the thing is that the worst is over. Like, I think when every time this card comes out, that means that the worst is over. But what's crossing this from obviously recovery is the Moon, right? The fears. I feel like there has been something that ended really badly and that perpetuated a lot of pain, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. I think a situation may be like on hold, especially because there hasn't been truly recovery. There hasn't been true recovery. Like, I think there's just some things that haven't really been gotten over yet, because obviously, right, this Ten of Swords was just was so bad pretty much. Now, the Moon does talk about being like facing fears, confusion, uncertainty, right? Like, it's just a very confusing energy. This is disillusionment, and you can't really, it's really hard to make out what's going on in the dark. You kind of just have to trust your intuition as you go through this energy, because it's uncertain. So I feel like this Ten of Swords, it's like the challenge is just to kind of let this go and being able to kind of trust yourself through this period. I think something devastating may have happened, but I don't think that this is going to happen again. I feel like that's probably why you're so defensive at the moment, right? I think that's the thing. Like, it's just something that's keeping you guys from being able to move forward. Now in the past energy, you have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles talks about making decisions, keeping the balance. For some of you guys, it could have been like this: somebody was juggling two people. Like, it could be straight up somebody was juggling two people, because this is juggling. But this could have also be that somebody was very focused on something else, focused on on the practical, maybe focusing on work. Somebody may have had a third-party situation, or this could have been a third-party situation where somebody was more involved with their work or another relationship than they were with the person that they were in a proclaimed relationship with, right? But this also talks about looking at the practical, making decisions, and it could be you guys have been really focusing on other things rather than how y'all felt, right? Just kind of just distracting yourself and trying to make practical decisions. But in the present, you have the Seven of Wands, so that means that you guys are in a state of very defensive energy. Like, you guys are feeling very defensive at the moment. You guys have the higher ground, though. This means that you have the ability to see what's going on around you. You have you're standing in a place where you can see all around you. You don't have to be as defensive or have to fight off people on the ground, because you're not at that level. You're not at their level. But the thing is that I think you're afraid of perhaps dealing with people at that level, or not necessarily dealing with people at that level, but you're defensive and protective of something, protective of yourself most likely, because of the things that it could be very scary, especially if you've gone through some really terrible energy. Excuse me. I do get this feeling that for some of you guys, yeah, this is like you guys are defensive of the unknown. Like, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's out there. You're kind of afraid of anything happening, especially this Ten of Swords again. You don't want to put yourself out there because, again, like, you don't know what's to come. You don't know if it's going to work out, if you're going to have another devastating ending. And I think somebody may have had their attentions, strayed, but I don't think that they're cheating, okay? Because I'm not getting any more third-party situations. Two of Pentacles, to me, talks more about work, a lot more focus on work than anything. And I feel like there's a lot of ignoring of emotions here. And I feel like that's why this is like super intense and super heightened, because I think there's a lot of things that should have been attended to in the past but haven't been emotionally, and there's a lot of focusing on what needs to be done, handling responsibilities and keeping the balance. And that's why there's like inflammation of energy here. Like, it's kind of inflamed with a little this defensiveness towards this unknown energy here. Now, how your future is looking is the Hangman, and things get a little bit stuck in limbo, like stops moving because there is a need of a change of perspective. And I don't think that I think it has to do with your fears. It has to do with the things that you've overcome, and really utilizing this water energy, this moon energy, to your advantage. This is a time now to really begin to trust yourself again, and trust relationships, and trust getting into situations again. Because I feel like right now it's a lot of focusing on the practical, focusing on the details, or trying to gain more information, and to look at the details a lot more before getting involved into things, because you don't want to be devastated again. But the situation is, it's like, sorry guys, my throat is jacked up, and so is my back. But anyway, I feel like for some of you guys, like, this fear is really keeping you guys from being able to be yourselves, to go out there and do things that you may have otherwise have done, because of what happened here with the Ten of Swords. The worst is over, though. This means that this is not gonna happen. This is already done. It's not gonna happen again. You've already hit the bottom. You can only go up from here, but it's like, where up? Where is that? And you don't even know what that looks like, and you don't know if you have to hit more craziness or more sadness or more pain in order to get there. And I'll tell you what, this is the lowest of the low. You can't go any lower with this energy. You can only go up. But the thing is, I don't know if you guys have an idea of where that up looks like, or everything kind of is like super confusing at this point. I feel like with the King of Pentacles showing up in your goal, aim, ambition here, it feels like it's trying to say that right now it's time to focus on yourself, focusing on building things that are of great value to you, because the Page of Pentacles is something that somebody it's looking at the details, looking closely at the value of someone that offered you something. There could have been somebody that offers you something, maybe, but the King of Pentacles is also talking about grounding yourself and just kind of just following routine. Let me go see, why is the King of Pentacles in your crowning energy? The Two of Pentacles. Okay, that's really weird, because we just talked about how you guys were doing that in the past, or somebody was doing that in the past. Somebody was doing that in the past, like focusing on the practical, not really looking at how they were feeling. And the King of Pentacles is doing that very thing. Somebody's focusing too much on work, or being distracted right now. And I feel like that's actually not a bad thing right now, considering that you just got through something. And don't necessarily just completely lose yourself into work, but let yourself kind of focus on what you want, focus on what you're doing that actually makes you happy. And if the King of Pentacles could be focusing on doing something that makes him happy, working at something that makes him happy, very career oriented at the moment. The Two of Pentacles is very similar. Like I said, it's in the past. Like, you guys, there's somebody here that was, I thought it was somebody else, but maybe it was, I think it may have been somebody else, or maybe there was some sort of distraction here. But really, keeping the balance, keeping the, doing the best that you can, handling responsibilities, I feel like right now it's just saying to just, maintain stability in your life by focusing on what you can do in the moment, rather than focusing on what has happened and what could come. Because honestly, the Ten of Swords, it's over, it's done, it's not happening again. But the Hangman is showing that there's some stagnancy. I feel like maybe there is a thing, I feel like there's something asking you to change your focus, or shift your focus, or to make a decision based off of how you feel about the options, rather than what looks good. Because because this Page of Pentacles, it's a kid. How would he know the value of something unless he felt something for it? Like, the Page of Cups is here, and I feel like you guys are protective of what your heart's desire is, or what you want. Like, it could be that you guys are defensive based off of what you want, you're defensive of what you want. You're defensive of how you feel. You're defensive of the small love that you guys have been trying to cultivate here. I really feel like this is like I really feel like this is you guys like trying to make a decision that's on the practical side, like what looks good, what sounds good, rather than what feels good. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case that something you should be doing, because the King of Pentacles, I know he does that. He's very focused on his career. He's very focused on the practical, making money and things like that. And the King of Pentacles is also Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I think maybe, I feel like the King of Pentacles is just saying that you want to be someone that's abundant, that's stable, that's confident in themselves, that's independent. But how you do that is by being in touch with how you feel. It's very weird. Why is the Two of Pentacles coming up and clarifying the King of Pentacles? Why is that coming up? Because of the Page of Cups. Yeah, it's talking about focusing on your emotions. It really is. The King of Pentacles is like, right now there's a lot of emphasis on what's practical, what's practical, what's practical. And it's like, you're not going to get a lot of answers with that unless you know what you want. Know what you feel. If you know what you feel, then it'll be easier to make decisions like that. It'll be easier to make decisions on where you want to go. The Page of Cups is saying that to an external. You're protective, or you're defensive about this Page of Cups. I feel like you have a goal that you're already trying to get to, or maybe somebody's offered you something and you're defensive about it. I feel like this person around you maybe is the King of Pentacles, and the thing is, this person is very reliable, very like stable, but it's going to require you to give them a chance, because if you've gone through something really painful in the past that's made you very afraid to put yourself out there, you may be passing up an opportunity with somebody that is actually worthy of your time, and that's willing to stabilize and really make something of this relationship with you. Because I feel like this person's coming in with a cup of love, and this person here, even though that they are, juggling things and trying to keep afloat, they are building something for themselves, and they want to take you with them. And I feel like you're the same way. I feel like you guys are trying to be very independent, and you're juggling things, and you want someone to come with you too, but at the same time, you don't want to have this pain again. And you won't know, right? You'll never know if the person is really truly meaning it or not. But you have to trust your intuition. That's where your intuition comes in. You have to trust yourself. And if you trust your intuition, that'll give you the answers that you're looking for. Now, in your outcome, you have the Two of Swords, which talks about making a decision that's difficult. But it's also like you have the blindfold on, so it's very hard to make a decision if you don't see it. But I feel like with the Two of Swords, right, it's not necessarily about making that decision. It's more of executing it, because I feel like the second you take off that blindfold, you're gonna know what it is that you're gonna do. You're gonna know what decision you're gonna make. And it's about saying, okay, I know things are different now. I know this and that, but I don't know if I can make that decision. I don't know if I can actually do this. Should I make this decision? Should I do this? And you know what? Do what is true to you. Be honest to yourself. Excuse me. Keeping the balance in your life is okay for a second, but if it's not going in the direction that you want to go, it's wasting your time. You're saying, you know what I mean? It's just like straight up wasting your time, Cancer. Like, you can't just keep doing things that don't really make you happy. If it's not making you feel good to be yourself, to feel love in life, then it's not worth it. But I feel like this person is showing that showing their value, and I feel like you know their value, and I think that you're just taking some time to really think about it. But the thing is that I feel like it's at the same time protecting yourself from potential pain. But I don't think that this person is trying to hurt you. I feel like this person wants to actually express the love to you and to extend and go further. But right now it's like you have to kind of overcome this pain that you've been experiencing, this pain that you experienced, this ending that that happened, that may have been very devastating, but it's over, right? It's not it's over with that person. It's not going to happen again. But you have a perspective that you can utilize. You just don't know how, you just don't know if this is the person you're going to be utilizing it with. You don't know if this person really means what they say. You're not sure if you trust what's going on. But do you trust yourself? That's the most important thing, because right now with Libra season, everybody that comes to us is a reflection of ourselves. So if we don't trust them, we don't trust ourselves, and that's what we have to figure out, why we don't trust ourselves. Wow. So you guys have serendipity from the wisdom of the Oracle, and I believe I was telling Taurus about this, like good luck, Taurus or Gemini, either one, and that talks about luck. This is a good luck card. Luck is on your side right now. Luck has got your back. You're not doing this by yourself. You have good things going along with you, or having your back with this. You're not doing this by yourself. So you have good luck coming in, okay? This is a change of luck. This is the 4 clovers. Jupiter's got your back, guys, okay? The trine in water starts with Jupiter and Scorpio. And as long as you're vulnerable, you show your true and your authentic selves, feeling your true authentic energy, the universe will have your back with this. Luck will be in your favor. But it's when you suppress it and hold it back and suffocate it, that's when you may not see serendipity come out. You have to let this energy flow. You have to be your energy. You have to be your water sign energy. You have to let that flow. And you have to be aware of what makes you feel insecure. Because the moon and the 7 of Wands to me is insecurity. And we all have insecurities. I've got insecurities. Your mama's got insecurities. I've got my mama's got insecurities. We all have insecurities. And that does not make us stupid. It doesn't make us look pathetic. It doesn't make us look weak. We are human beings, and we have to just accept that we have insecurities. But that doesn't mean that we put those on others, and at the same time, it doesn't mean that we just let ourselves float in the wind and ignore those insecurities. You have to love ourselves and give ourselves that love that we need to overcome those insecurities. And right now, that's what you need right now. You need some love and some TLC regarding this. You have some devastating stuff happen, and you do need to have that love given to you. You need to give yourself love. And right now, it's be honest about what you've experienced, honest about what you've had to go through, and just give yourself that time in that love and that forgiveness to overcome that. But most importantly, though, don't shut anybody out because of this insecurity, though. Because that's the 2 of Pentacles doing, shutting people out. Don't just look at the practical aspect. Look at what does it mean to be in love with someone, and giving them a chance. If this is something you want, I really feel like this is something you want. The Page of Cups, message of love, sure, but this is also something that you've wanted. Are you defensive of it because you're afraid of where it may turn out to be, versus what it could be because of what you want, what you can create? And love endures from the whispers of love is coming up here. I'm going to read you guys the caption. It says, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. And it does. Some of you guys are still in that relationship and you're unsure, you're untrusting. Love outstands everything. Every little crazy thing that we all have to endure in our lives. Life is crazy, it's full of drama, and it's meant to kind of drive us crazy. But the thing is that we have to figure out what we do with this crazy. Whether to make it work for us or we work for it. And right now, it's about building back faith within our love and ourselves, and in relationships. How we are in relationships. Not the relationship itself, not with the other person, but with really trusting ourselves. You did nothing wrong with trusting the person in the past. You did nothing wrong. Nothing here with this 10 of Swords was your fault. And nothing that the other person did was their fault. Everything happens for a reason, and we have to recognize that the things that we may have gone through that have been extremely painful can always be overcome, can always be can always be avoided. Right? We can't be perfect. And the thing is that you're not perfect, and that's what makes you perfect.